Hi, Shalom. This is Rachel here, and you might be wondering why I'm wearing what looks like a black chef's hat on my head, and I'm here to explain that to you. This is the new Wendy Volumizer that Wrapunzel has started carrying. It has, I believe, already flown off the shelves once, and is probably well on its way to doing that again because this is becoming very, very popular, and for very good reason. The inventor of this volumizer, a lovely woman named Wendy, asked me to make a tutorial showing how to adjust the stuffing in the volumizer to get different looks for you all, because everybody likes to wear theirs differently. For those of you who aren't familiar, the Wendy Volumizer has a very thick velvet band going all the way down and around, no Velcro. It's just one stretchy piece of velvet, and then on top is what looks like this giant poof that makes it look like a chef's hat. The thing that is very special about this volumizer is that on the inside, not attached to the velvet, but on the flat section where the poof is, there's a small hole about this big where you can take the stuffing in and out. So if yours arrives and you say, that's too much stuffing for me, I don't like that, you can pull some of it out and figure out the right size that you like. Conversely, if yours arrives and you say, oh, this is really great, but it's not enough, I want even more volume, you can go to any craft store and get like polyfiber fill or something like that and stuff even more of it up there for a bigger look. And I want to just say I have no volume of my own. My hair is just a few short inches, maybe that long. So this is all the Wendy poof. And what's great about this volumizer is that I, until now, have never owned a volumizer where I could just put it on as is and tie my scarf and go. When you have no volume of your own, you learn pretty quickly that for many styles of head wrapping, you do need to have a lot of, or some, volume in the back to kind of anchor the scarves so they won't just slip off the back. And I have big poofs, little poofs, all sorts of volumizers, but none were big enough to allow me to do that without putting more scarves, shoved up inside or anything. So this one just takes care of that. Perfect. Put it on my head, easy peasy, and I'm done. So now, the first thing you want to do when you have your Wendy Volumizer is put it on your head. Just like a hat, I just put it down on my head. I don't need to put it from the back, I just put it right down. Any hair that's sticking out, long hair or short, you just keep pushing it up all around, until it's all tucked in. You can tie your hair in a bun or a ponytail if you'd like. If you wear, a scrunchie underneath, you can do all that. That's all still fine. There's tons of room under here for your own natural hair. But again, if you have none, it'll fit just fine too. Wendy told me a nice trick that some women with longer hair do to keep their volume from shifting, their volumizer from shifting, is this. They'll make two low buns at the nape of their neck here, and then put the volumizer on, and so the buns sit in this part here, and they kind of shift or prevent the volumizer from slipping up in the back. I have had no problems with slippage since I've been using this, but everybody's different, and if you do, that's just one trick you can employ. So once you put your volumizer on your head, you want it lower than normal. Mine is already on, but this is how low I put mine on, and I don't usually wear mine this low, but there's a reason for that. Once you have your hair all tucked in, you want to just go ahead and smooth the velvet part, just all around, make sure it's smooth, no lumps, and then you can slowly move it up into position where you prefer to wear yours. And it is a good velvet. I am pulling here and it's not going anywhere, so this is really nice. So when you do that, you have this kind of mushroom looking look. And this is great if you want to wear your volume way up high. Some women like to do that. So I will now, really quickly, before I even adjust anything with the stuffing, I'm just going to put on a quick scarf really fast so that you can see what this looks like. So, look at that. Tons of high volume. And again, I'm going to tie it, well, you know what? Yeah, I'll tie it completely. So you can really get to see a look at what wearing the Wendy Volumizer does for those of us who like and want high volume. So I'm not even going to tried, excuse me, to do this nice and neat. Oops. I am just going to put it on quickly. You know what, I'm not going to worry about that. I think it'll be fine. But I do want to get in front. So, if you like a lot of really high volume, look at that. I just put the Wendy Volumizer on my head, and I can even push it up, you know, if I want more, push it up. Kind of mold this with my fingers once it's in there. And look at that. Super duper duper high volume. Without having to layer or anything else. That's really nice. But not everybody likes really high volume. Some women want it either lower down or just kind of in the middle of their head. So I'm going to show you that now. To get the volumizer in the middle of your head, you can do this. I hold the band with one of my hands, and then I push. I kind of sweep my hand down while pushing down that volume. And then I use my fingers. And I grab it, and I work it, and I work that stuffing that's in there down. Kind of pulling down as I work it with either hand. So now, I've got a more middle of the road height of my volume. So let me put my scarf on again, show you what this one looks like. Gathering my tails, doing a crossover. This volumizer is so exciting, ladies. It really, for somebody like me that has no volume of their own, it is such a lifesaver because I no longer, like I mentioned, have to stuff anything underneath my volumizer, and that, unless I'm tying a turban where you don't need volume in the back, every single time, every day when I wrap my head, I'm always having to stuff it with something, and I no longer have to do that, and it's just really nice, really great. Alright, so here now is the more, forget it, you don't need it. Ignore my tails, fringies. But so here is the more middle of the road stuffing height for your volume. And again, you can, if there's lumps, you can work them with your fingers, get it nice and smooth. So now, and this one is how I normally wear my volume, which is low, low, low down. One thing you can do to get your stuffing where you want it is before your volumizer is on your head, you can shape it while it's in your hand. The velvet band here has a seam, which you can wear on the back. It's just one seam where the velvet, two sides of the velvet attached, and then the rest is totally smooth. So the complete opposite end of from where the seam is what I'll call the top of the volumizer. So before you put it on, you can hold your volumizer by the top here, by the velvet band, and just manually with your hands, you know, push all the stuffing down to the bottom. But you can also do that while it's on your head, which is what I'm going to do now. So say I just put my volumizer on, I've got my chef's hat thing going, just the same as with getting it more towards the central, you know, area to wear your volume. I'm holding my velvet band down tight and pushing all of that stuffing down. And you don't be afraid of it. You really want to just push and work it and get, you know, as much of that stuffing down towards the bottom as possible. You want to do it on both sides. And the way I have it pushed now, even though my velvet band ends here and the section with the poof is starting, so right here, none of the stuffing is up here. This is all just my head, and all the stuffing now is either behind or beneath, you know, the edge at the top of my head. And this will help when you go to wrap to keep it down low. Now, when I go to put my scarf on, I am going to take a little more time with this one, just to show you what I mean. Okay, so I have my scarf folded to fit my head. It is now on top. And I'm gathering, you know, my ends like this. And I really, to keep that stuffing down, I gather them tight. Tight, tight, tight. And as I do that, it pulls down the fabric on the top of my scarf, which in turn pulls the volume, the poof, you know, for this volumizer down. So now you can see it's really low down. None of that real high volume. And again, this is with all the stuffing. I think there are some women who like to wear their volume low who actually take some of the stuffing out and have an easier time achieving this. Me, with no volume of my own, I don't like to do that. So, real quick, tuck, tuck, tuck. Whoops. All right. And one more. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Whoopsie. And so this now is a Wendy with low volume. See, it's pretty low down there. Okay? The only other thing I want to add is that Wendy herself told me one of her favorite methods for getting the volume kind of lower down or towards the middle is before she puts her volumizer on, she holds the velvet band, one side with one hand, one side with the other, and just kind of shakes it around like this. And then that way the poof, the filling on the inside just kind of naturally settles in that middle area of the volumizer. So it's another way of working the fabric. But really, guys, this is so flexible and amazing. I love that it's got the customizable poof size. You can take the stuffing in and out, even add more. I believe there are some women that really like this volumizer that don't wear it with any stuffing at all. They have a lot of their own volume, but they like the Wendy. It's so comfortable, just slips right on. There's no awkward seams, you know, in the middle of your volume section, which can happen with other volumizers just from their natural shape. And that's it. So I love this volumizer, and you will too. It's available in the Wrapunzel store. Everybody should check it out and love it. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Hey ladies, just a few key things to add to Rachel's tutorial that she made on the Wendy Volumizer. She doesn't have two of them, so she wasn't able to wear one on her head like I'm wearing now and also show you how it works in person. So I'm here, I'm holding the Wendy in white, and you can see it has actually, oh my god, it has a Wrapunzel label in it. Isn't that cool? So awesome. And it's really interesting. I mean, it leaves you enough room to stick in all your hair and all your head right here. Like basically it's really like it looks like this, and if you turn it inside out, it's like exactly the same except it has this seam. So it's just really, really wonderful and very, very flexible. So when you turn it inside out, you'll see the hole right here. Ha ha ha, there's the hole. So you can remove as much stuffing as you would like. And all I'm doing is just showing you how to do this. I'm going to begin, remove all the stuffing just to show you that we often get ladies writing to us saying like, hey, do you guys have like a cap or volumizer that just doesn't have any volume? So basically it's just a cap, and the answer is no, we don't, but we do have this, which you can remove all the stuffing and then it will cover your whole hair. Oh, I am like seriously like covered in stuffing here. There we go. Okay, so when you remove all the stuffing, this is what you're left with, which is just a cap that you can slip over your head. And I'm going to do it over my tuchel right now just to show you. And you can really see how firm the velvet is because I'm wearing my Wendy underneath. Like it just doesn't, it doesn't budge. The velvet is really great. So there you go. That's without any stuffing, and this is like basically a Wendy without any stuffing over a Wendy with stuffing. And if you have this much hair, then that's what you can do. If you have dreadlocks, which I know a lot of you ladies do, that's also what you can do. Okay, remove it without wrapping the scarf underneath. And again, you can just really fill up that hole with anything that you want. We try to stuff it as much as is possible, but as Rachel said, some ladies like to do even more. So go ahead, stuff it with as much as you want. The stuffing is really light and won't, I mean, again, it's still stuffing. You're wearing something on your head, but from what we've heard, it will not make you overheat when you're outside. So there's all my stuffing, all of it's in. And now I'm ready to play around with it once again. Obviously, if you take the stuffing in and out, it will make things a little lumpy, but you just play around with it. And now I'm gonna put, just to see how it looks, I'm gonna put my Wendy on top of my Wendy. And this is just to show you how big it can actually go if you were to add extra stuffing. This is insane, crazy volume. Okay, enjoy your Wendy's, ladies. We can't wait to see your pictures. Oh, now you can see my Wendy underneath. Bye-bye. Okay, bye.